If working hard made people rich, then most people wouldn't be struggling with money, but they are. And that should tell you something, because the problem isn't that people aren't working hard enough. It's that they're following a system that was never designed to make them wealthy in the first place. And once you see this system clearly, it becomes very hard to ignore, because suddenly things start to make sense. Why you can earn more money and still feel stuck. Why your lifestyle improves, but your financial position doesn't. Why no matter how much effort you put in, it never quite feels like enough. And it all comes down to one simple loop: earn, spend, repeat. That's the system most people are living in. And on the surface, it looks fine. You work, you get paid, you enjoy your money, you upgrade your life. But underneath that, nothing is actually changing, because this system is designed to keep you moving, not progressing. And that's the difference most people never realize. Movement feels like progress, but they're not the same thing. Progress means you're building something. Movement just means you're staying busy. And most people are incredibly busy without ever building anything. So let's break this down properly, because there are a few key traps inside this system that quietly keep people stuck for years. The first one is the time trap. This is where everything begins. You trade your time for money. You work an hour, you get paid, work more hours, earn more money. It feels logical, even fair. But there's a hidden problem. Time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day, which means your income will always have a ceiling. No matter how skilled you become, no matter how hard you work, eventually you run out of time. And that's why so many people feel like they're working harder every year, but not getting ahead, because they're trying to scale something that fundamentally cannot scale. Effort. Effort doesn't compound. Time doesn't multiply. So even if you increase your income, you're still stuck inside a system where your earnings depend on your presence, and that's not freedom, that's dependency. Now, the second trap is what I call the income illusion, and this one is dangerous because it feels like progress. You get a raise, you earn more, you feel like you're moving forward, but then something happens. Your life adjusts. You upgrade your car, your rent increases, you spend more without even thinking about it, and slowly your expenses rise to match your income. So even though you're earning more, you're not actually building anything. You're just maintaining a more expensive version of your life. And that's why you can double your income and still feel like nothing has changed, because income alone doesn't create wealth. What matters is what you keep and what you build with it. The third trap is the lifestyle trap. And this one is even more subtle because it feels like success. You start improving your life. Better clothes, better environment, better experiences, and there's nothing wrong with that. But here's where it becomes a problem: when your lifestyle grows faster than your assets, because now you're not just living your life, you're financing it. And that creates pressure because your expenses become fixed, which means your income has to stay high just to maintain your lifestyle. So you can't slow down, you can't take risks, you can't step away. You've built a system that depends on constant income instead of one that creates it. And that's why people feel trapped, even when they're earning good money. Now, the fourth trap is debt. And this is one of the most normalized problems in modern life. Everything is available on monthly payments. Everything feels affordable because it's broken down into small numbers. But those small numbers stack up, and before you realize it, a significant portion of your future income is already committed before you've even earned it. Debt reduces your flexibility, it reduces your options, and most importantly, it reduces your ability to invest, because instead of putting money into assets, you're using it to pay for things that are losing value, and that creates a cycle that's very hard to escape. And finally, the fifth trap, the one that ties everything together, the consumer mindset. From a young age, most people are trained to consume, to spend, to upgrade, to chase the next thing, and it becomes normal, even expected. But here's the problem: consumers don't build wealth, owners do. And that's where everything changes, because once you shift from thinking like a consumer to thinking like an owner, you stop playing the same game. You stop asking, can I afford this? And you start asking, will this make me money? And that one question forces a completely different way of thinking, because now you're not focused on spending, you're focused on building. So what's the solution? It's not working harder. It's not just earning more. It's changing the system you follow. Instead of earn to spend to repeat, you switch to earn to invest to build to repeat. And this is where most people get stuck, because they try to invest what's left over, but there's never anything left over. So nothing changes. The real shift happens when you reverse it. The moment you get paid, you remove a percentage first, 10 to 20% before you spend anything, and you redirect it into assets, things that grow, things that produce income, things that work for you. At first, it feels small, almost insignificant, but over time, those assets start to build. They start to generate returns, and eventually, they start producing income. And that's when everything changes, because now you're no longer relying entirely on your time. You're building something that grows with or without you, and that's how people actually build wealth. Not through one big breakthrough, but through small, consistent decisions repeated over time. So if you're feeling stuck right now, it's not because you're not working hard enough. It's because you're following a system that keeps you stuck. Fix the system, and everything else begins to change. And if you want a simple step-by-step breakdown of all 5 traps and exactly how to escape them, download the free Money Blueprint guide in the descriptions below. That's your starting point, because once you understand the system, you can finally start building something that works for you. And don't forget to subscribe and follow at the Money Blueprint _4U for more nuggets like this.